The Ohio State Buckeyes, they captured. It's their seventh national championship in program history. Their first one since 2012, the first year of the 14 college playoffs when they went through the Oregon Ducks and Alabama in that one. That's when Carnell Jones led the Buckeyes and they had Zeke Elliott. So they ran through Alabama in the semifinals and they ended up boat racing Marcus Mariota and the Oregon Ducks in the national championship game. That was the last time they did it. Urban Myers was the head coach. Urban Myers was the head coach. That's how long it's been. This is Ryan Day's first national championship, and it's safe to say that he's not getting fired no time soon. He finished the deal. Now, we heard Paul Feinbaum on Get Up, I believe the day after Tuesday, the day after, where he wasn't impressed that Ohio State won that championship because of the $20 million deal roster that he had and all that stuff. Well, guess what? He might have had a $20 million roster, but he had to deliver. He delivered. You can say you're not impressed. You can say you're not happy. You can say all these things, but no, whatever the case may be, the Buckeyes are on top of the football world. And it's just where it is. Ryan Day got his elusive championship. The Buckeyes get to celebrate now, and they get to throw away that terrible loss to Michigan at the Horseshoe because they can call themselves national champions. Now, the question would have been if Ryan Day wouldn't have won the national championship, would the talk would have been? Because I do believe if it wasn't for that loss to Michigan and the backlash that the Ohio State Buckeyes got from that loss, this run party never would have happened. So in a way, maybe Ohio State fans probably should thank Michigan for putting down the Buckeyes again. Because if you didn't have that type of energy towards Ryan Day and this team, maybe this team wouldn't have shoved the way that they did in the college football playoffs. Boat racing the Tennessee Volunteers, boat racing the Oregon Ducks, making the critical plays against Texas, and making the critical plays against Notre Dame to capture the seventh championship in program history. Maybe, just maybe, Ohio State fans should thank Michigan for that L that they took. Because they got to be down at their lowest moment of the season. Yeah, they lost to Oregon hurt because they could have won that game. They lost by 1 point. Those losses hurt. Those type of games hurt. But getting pounded, getting punched in the mouth by your rival. And after that, your own fan base is turning against you. People's calling for your head coach's job left and right. This roster, who has $20 million worth of a roster, feeling the pain of their fan base turning on them, saying y'all ain't worth a darn for that much. And you see what they did in the first ever 12-team playoffs. Now here's the question. Because when Urban Myers won the first 14 playoff, they never won it again since. And that's why we got to this point where Ryan Day won the first ever 12-team playoffs. Will you also pull Urban Myers and never win one ever again? Because that was the only time outside of Michigan last season that the Big Ten has won the national championship. Because when you went to the 14 playoffs, Ohio State won the first one, and it was either the SEC or Clemson winning the rest of them in the 14 playoffs until Michigan this last season. And now this past season to begin the 12-team playoffs, Ohio State is back on top. Can Ryan Day keep it going for the Big Ten? Or will the SEC and a team like Clemson somewhere out in the world will start raining down on the 12-team playoffs? Now we want to see. Now the reason why they did the 12-team playoffs to see different champions, to give more teams a chance to showcase what they can do in these environments. Ohio State wins the first one. Can they go back to back? Can the Big Ten claim hold to the 12-team playoffs the way that the SEC came hold to the 14 playoffs? We shall see. But for right now, Buckeye Nation, you can still celebrate because you're back on top of the college football mountain. And with